Hey guys, First Bell Comic Book Universe in X-Men Gold issue number 8. Alright, so this is part 2 of 2 of the Secret Empire crossover. And yeah, this was actually really good. This actually involved the Hitman dude. Like, apparently he's just nobody special. And he's got an adamantium faceplate, though, somehow. Wow, I don't know what he did before this, but he has some cash on him, man. Even if it's just secondary adamantium, like, seriously. So anyway, he's got... This was really good, man. Like, even though it was almost like a novel ending, it was great. They had a couple twists and turns. Kitty Pryde is the only one who's actually doing any good against this guy fighting him. Peter can't transform, and everybody else is too far away. And even Prestige, like, she's got the best chance, but she didn't act fast enough, and he turns around and he sprays her with some kind of knockout gas. So she's paralyzed, whatever. She can't do anything. So these guys all get essentially thrown around, and Landslide and Dust, and God, I'm so happy to see Dust again. I like the character, whatever. I don't care what you think. But they both, find this thing, and they're like, okay, it's an electronic trigger. As in, Kitty, you got to try and find a way to be in two places at one time, because guess what? You can turn this thing off just by phasing through it. So she goes there and she phases through it, and it's like, nope, sorry, I read about this. It's a new kind of tech because, she's smart. And she says, nope, it's actually a bio electricity that's being used. So I'm thinking, okay, so wake Prestige up. Maybe it's living somehow? Nope. Instead, they just need to find the trigger, which is on him, which means she should have just stayed there and taken the dude out. But now she's got to go back and find him. He's about to kill Pixie. Hey, she's back. Cool. And yeah, man, like, this is wicked wild. Now, there are a couple little sidetracks here. We see that Storm and Old Man Logan are actually able to catch up and find Nightcrawler being beaten up, and literally he gets beaten to death. Yes, he actually gets killed. And he kind of wakes up. He's like, oh, it hurts. Believe me, it hurts way worse than it looks. And like, how did you not die? He's like, I did. And I love this. Oh my God. I got a little tiny bit choked up for this. They actually did keep it in continuity. And it's explained here. He says, I did die. I just died, and I just came back. When I escaped from heaven, I was barred from heaven. So essentially, he's got as long as he stays good, he's technically immortal. If he ever does something bad, then he can go to hell. So if he dies while doing something bad, that's at least my take on this. And holy crap, that's awesome. It's almost like Longshot. Remember Longshot? If he's not doing something good, then his probability manipulation means nothing. So yeah, there's actually, he's got conditional immortality. Wow, that's awesome. That is freaking awesome. Great thinking. Guggenheim, dude, you the man. You the man. Anyway, so Colossus jumps in front. Kitty goes up and she's about to get shot by this dude. Like, this is actually pretty cool, the way that this got resolved. She gets a katana and he's fighting back and whatnot. And there's a really cool moment here, which I actually want you guys to read. If you haven't, if you have, good on you, because you know how cool this dialogue was between Kitty and the killer. And he's kind of like a Punisher. He's kind of like a Frank Castle dude. So anyway, he decides to pull the trigger, and Colossus jumps in front. Ugh. And of course, he even admits he only did it for Katya. He did it for Kitty. So the dude's just trying to get laid. Like, the dude's actually so dumb, he's willing to get himself shot and potentially killed just to get laid again. Like, come on, man. Buy a doll. Anyway, moving on from that. Like, I don't want to see Colossus being this love-struck, puppy-eyed stupid again, like back when the X-Men first started. No, he's a freaking adult now. Sorry, I'm older. I grew out of that nonsense. Shouldn't he also? Okay, moving on from this. So, anyway, we get to see that the more Russian. Oh, he also says at one point, "Oh, I did it because I'm Russian." Okay, cool. So now you're red from Orange is the New Black. Yeah, can we separate these shows? So speaking of red, it turns out that the Hand and this group of these mutant racist dudes are actually working together to resurrect Omega Red. Oh yeah, not looking good. That's Arkady Rossovich. So anyway, that's the deal there. And this essentially gets resolved, and this is the end. Kind of a spoiler here. They're like, oh yeah, this is the end of the, a couple days later, the bubble over Manhattan, the Dark Force Dimension bubble, will actually disappear. It's like, oh, okay, crap, spoilers, literally, for Secret Empire. I'm okay with it. All right, guys, I'm actually just going to give this comic an A. This was a really good resolution, and I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen next, because it turns out that a congressman's secretary basically comes up. It's an invitation to discuss H.R. 372. What's H.R. 372? Well, it's a bill called the Mutant Deportation Act. Yeah, Okay, so mind you, it's not a mutant ban, it's just extreme vetting. I love when they do stupid things like this. All right, guys. So next issue is supposed to be Washington, D.C., and this is the kind of X-Men I like to see. I like to see this hard line discussing their rights and, yeah, basically keeping the real world relevant. I guess staying relevant with the real world, but not actually discussing the real world directly. I love this indirect stuff with the X-Men. This is the X-Men I grew up on. Anyway, guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.